Alright, we're working on getting through the onions that we grew this summer, and I want to make onion powder, so this is how we make onion powder. Get all the skins off and the tops and bottoms and into the food processor. And we're not exactly sure which blade we're supposed to be using here, so we borrowed the food processor from his mom, and we're about to find out whether the cheese one will work or not. We may have to switch to the other blade. So let's go. But yeah, that looks like it's perfect. Okay, some of these did it towards the end, didn't quite do it right, so those will take out a bit. Okay, bring that over here. Some of it, not too much, because we have to make a pretty thin layer. And you want to put parchment paper on your dehydrator tray. And then spread this out real thin. Can you hold this while I spread? Here, give me that. You do that. Thank you. Too big piece. Okay, like that, and it'll go into the dehydrator, and I'll come back when the dehydrator is full. Alright, we ended up with 6 trays in the dehydrator. I'm going to put this on the vegetable setting. Which is 125 degrees. And it's still on there from last time, so I'm gonna... onions usually take at least 24 hours. They're very wet. They take a long time. And sometimes they take longer than that. So I'm just gonna set it for 24 hours. And yeah, with onions, you're gonna want to leave the house for at least the first 2 or 3 to 4 hours that they are dehydrating. They will they'll kill your eyes. They will. Or dehydrate them outside or in the garage or something. After the first 4 hours, it just smells like onion. It doesn't have the chemicals going in your eyes that are going to make you cry and wish you were never born. Alright, so my onion is dehydrated now enough to grind. The reason that it's turned this sort of pinkish color is because it was so high in sugars. When your onion's high in sugars, it can turn pink when it dehydrates. This is pretty common with the Cobra keeping onions that I use. And of course, if you were dehydrating red onions, they would be that color as well. Well, they'd be darker than this. Alright, so this should be crispy. You don't want any moisture at all in it. You just want it really, really brittle. And you'll have to work it off your wax paper or your parchment paper, whatever you use. And you just, it should crumble real easy, but you are gonna be grinding it in a spice grinder to get it to the powder form. It smells really good. Alright, I discovered a way to make it come off the paper a lot easier than just squishing it off. Simply folding it over and it just comes loose. So, just gently fold over the parchment paper and it comes right off. And pour it out into the bowl. And there'll be a couple pieces that maybe stick, so you can go back and just loosen those ones up. But that saves a lot of time actually. So 7 trays of dehydrated onions came out to this. And now it's time to put it through the spice grinder and see what we end up with. Alright, so I'm going to just fill the spice grinder about 2/3 of the way full with the onion and pulse it to break it up a bit. Oh, and would you go get me a bowl to pour the powder into? Or a jar and the canning funnel. There's a jar at the end of the table that's clean. The coconut oil jar and the canning funnel's in the drawer. What we got? Ooh! Onion smoke. Okay, it's not quite as fine as I'd like it to be, so we're gonna do it a little bit longer. Wait, and remember, if you just run it, it won't chop it up as fine. You gotta do some pulsing, or you'll still end up with big chunks. Okay, that's the better consistency. I'll come back when I've got it all ground. Alright, I have nearly 2 full cups of onion powder from 7 trays of dehydrated onions that I grew in my garden. It's pretty good. This should last me a very long time, if not until next summer.